Okay, welcome to Ham Shack Reviews. My name is Vince. Today I'm going to show you how to set up the K4 to do FT8. Let's get started. Okay, I personally use WT8P's Notes to Self, but there's also some other good information out there. Even Elecraft has a very nice thing on how to set up the K4 for FT8. But let's get started. So after you download WSJT-X onto your computer, you're going to want to identify the ports for the K4. And that will be in the device manager under ports, COM and LPT. So see, this is before plugging in the K4, and then once he plugged in the K4, he had two more ports. These ports are usually be the two together, like 6 and 7. It wouldn't be 3 and 6 or 3 and 7. So I would assume on this it would be 6 and 7. Your number will vary on your computer. Mine's actually 4 and 5. So you scroll down and you want to find one. You want to right click on it, and then you want to click on properties. And then you want to find the one that says on USB serial converter A. Now that's the one you want to connect to for WSJT-X. While you're in there, you can go a little further and set it up. He's got it on 9600 bits per second here, but I actually use 38400 and don't have any problems. Everything else is the same. 8 data bits, no parity, 1 stop bit. Then you want to click advanced and come down to this. And on this right hand side, you want to make sure you untick the one that says serial enumerator, and then you want to tick the one that says disable modem for control at startup, and then you save that by clicking OK. Now when you get to your codec devices for audio, they should come up USB audio codec on both mic and speaker side. Here they say you could pick a friendly name. You could pick K4D USB audio codec. The K4 is the only thing that uses my audio codec, so I just left it alone. I know exactly what they are. Then when I set up the sound in the computer, make sure your format is on 2 channels, 16 bits, 44-100. That's where I leave mine anyway. And then this shows you about hitting TX test to test the transmit. I'll show you more of this when we get into WSJT-X. Okay, now this is going to be in WSJT-X for setup. Actually, we're going to go over to WSJT-X to see that. It's easier if I show you as we go. Okay, I opened WSJT-X, but first I'm going to show you the ports, how to get to the ports. So on Windows 11, I believe I remember it being the same on Windows 10. Come down to the Windows thing on the bottom left, right click, and it should come up Device Manager. For Mac, I honestly don't know. Then you want to scroll down this till you find ports, COM and LPT. Open that up. Now you'll see I have 1 and 3. It's definitely not 3. So 4 and 5 are only 2 together. So I'm going to try the first one first. Right click, hit properties, and it's going to come up on USB serial converter A, like I said, and that's the one you need. So that's what you're going to use, which will be port 4 for me. Yours will have a different number. Close that. Now in order to get the information on the top that we need, you got to come over here to the right and you got to click menus, and you'll see it shrinks down and you get a line of menus across the top. We're going to hit file and we're going to hit settings. Now the first one you open up's on general. I had to put in the call sign and my grid square, and I checked auto grid for region 2. And I believe the rest of this was in here. I picked a couple, but if you want, you can look at mine and match it. If you want to change your font size right in here, you can. Your decoded font is the one that'll come up in here. You can change that size as well. Next, we're going to go to the radio. Now, here's where most of your setup is. You want to have Elecraft K4 up here. In here you want to pick the COM 4 that we said. You can see I got this to 38400. This has to match in the radio. Remember the stop bit, the data bit was 8 and the stop bit was 1. The handshake was none. This was left blank. You'll see this is recommended by Elecraft and I've actually used both. But since they both work and it opens on CAT, I just leave it there. Come down, you want to hit data packet, you want to hit fake it, and then when you got all that connected, you're going to want to test it. So we're going to test the CAT. It's going to come up green. That's good. Now we're going to test to see if the PTT works. Came up red. That's perfect. Next, you're going to go to audio. And this is where you put in your two input and output, your two USB audio codecs. Now, if you renamed them, you'd see the renamed here, but I know what it is, so I left that alone. And then you got some other things, like you could change your macros in here. You got reporting in here you could do. You'll learn this stuff as you go, but this is not needed just to get on. If you want to add frequencies, you can. You can change your colors that you see. You don't have to see all of them if you don't want to. And then you could go into advanced if you want to. I'm on CQ with individuals now, but when I was in the log for the NAVHF, I had to select this. And up here you got some other things you could check as well. So we're done here. Now we're going to go out of here. Now you should see this should be green and not red like that. You want it to be green, and this should say monitor. And you should start seeing this left side populating. This is the receive side. Over here you'll see your macros. This is what I was talking about. You can change your macros. You can also change them here by just typing in there. And then if you want to tune, you can hit tune and tune your radio. See, now I'm on my meter. I can see I have an output. If you don't have an output, you're going to want to mess with your ALC. On the K4, I turn the compression down to 0, and I turn the mic gain down to 0. And that means and that's because your ALC should fall between 3 and 5 on the ALC meter in the K4. If you're in that range, you're good. Luckily, I was good and I didn't have to mess with it, so I didn't have to go any further there. Then you should be ready to transmit. I picked TX on first because there's like 2 time frames. There's one when someone sends and then there's one when someone receives. You got to be on the right one to get the person you're trying to reach. But I always stick it right here, TX first, because this is what most people do. Let me slide that over and show you. You can see these are the frequencies that are being used, wherever you see the signals. Now if you want, see how this is an open frequency? I would click here and you see that moves over. Now that's where I'll be working. So at that point, I will click hold frequency and that'll stay there. So let's try and make a call. Normally anything lower than -15 you're going to have a hard time getting. I usually try to be -3 or higher. This here is your 15 minutes. You transmit in 15-minute segments. This goes across and tells you your time. When that stops and empty, your next time frame starts. Here's a strong signal. We're going to try this one, a +13. So I am transmitting at 48 watts. But now let's see if he's answering me on this go-round. And he did. He's given me a signal report of 01. I gave him a signal report of +8. Our next round should be 73s. I had to open my logger real quick. See, he gave me an RRR. Now I'm going to give him a 73. And this box opens to log. Now I'm going to click log. And if I bring my log over, you'll see his call sign in the top of my log. And that's all you have to it. I know I didn't cover everything and I missed a few things, but I think I gave you enough to get you started. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. That was a lot of information. I will have links below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and ding that bell to catch all my videos. A share is also appreciated. 73s, my friends.